Do you know where it's gonna land this barrel? And this one? Do you want to know it? So welcome to the guide. Hello everyone, I'm Aryx, welcome to my channel. In this video I'm showing you guys the guide for predicting the trajectory of the goblin barrel. So if you find it useful, don't forget to share with your friends, and let's start. To start, we're gonna see where they can use the goblin barrel. Most of the time they will use it at your tower, especially in lot bait decks, so they will force you to use lot to avoid the damage. A good player will change the position of the barrel, trying to make you fail the lot. 3 tiles behind the tower is the perfect position to make your enemy fail the lot. If you are able to predict this right, you'll be able to activate your king's tower just with a simple skeletons. Using the barrel 4 tiles behind the tower is not an option because you are gonna activate the king's tower of your enemy. You can use the goblin barrel in the corner, but it's way more efficient if you are supporting them with another unit tanking them. Another 3 options could be in the sides and in front of the tower. Quick reminder, a goblin barrel between the towers is only suffering the damage of 1 tower. A lot of people doesn't know about that, so they are not expecting a barrel there. In front of the tower is so effective because you are forcing them to calculate the lot so precisely to avoid the damage. Once that we know where they could use the barrel, is the moment to predict where it's gonna land. We have to see 2 things, the animation, especially the height, and the shadow, being this one the most important. We're gonna use these 3 tiles to study the shadow. And depending the tile, we're gonna see if the barrel is going to be at the tower, at the corner, or behind the tower. If the shadow is crossing the middle tile and the animation has a middle height, that means that the barrel is going to be at the tower. Let's put another example. The shadow is crossing the middle tile, so it's going to be at the tower. This time the animation is different, but you can see clearly that it's a middle height and the barrel is not about to land or too high. Okay, so let's start the hard part. When the shadow is crossing between the middle and the left tile, it means that it's going to be behind the tower. It's a slight change, but with a little bit of practice you'll be able to know it so easily. Another important detail is the height. If we are comparing this one with the previous 2 ones, we see a clear difference. Let's put another example. The shadow is crossing between the middle and the left tile, and the height is similar to the last example. So it means that it's going to be behind the tower. Let's study now the corner position. As you can see, the shadow is crossing the right tile, and the height is even higher than the previous example. That means that the barrel is going to be in the corner. Let's put another example. Here again we see that the barrel is crossing the right tile and the height is so elevated. So, as we said, it's going to be in the corner. Let's start now with some less common cases. In this case we see how the barrel is crossing at the right tile, but the height is way less high than the previous example. That means that the barrel is going to be at the right of the tower. Second case. Now we can see the barrel crossing between the middle and the left tile, but the height is way lower than the case of behind the tower. So the barrel is going to be between the towers. Let's go now with the hardest case, in my opinion. As you can see, the barrel is crossing between the middle and the right tile, but the height is so low. Let's put another example of this case. As we can see, the position is between the middle and the right tile, and the height is so low again. To finish, I'd like to show you how to make and how to counter the combo with the goblin barrel and the rocket, such a nasty one. To make it, we have to drag the rocket to this position. Without releasing it, we have to click the goblin barrel and be prepared to use it on this position. Now we have to release the rocket, and with the other finger, we have to use the goblin barrel on the position that we wanted before as soon as we can. Take your time to practice this because it's so effective. It's a very annoying technique because the barrel is invisible under the rocket and the sound of the barrel is hid under the sound of the rocket. If your opponent is making the technique perfectly, the only chance that you have to recognize that combo is the shadow. You have to be careful with this technique, especially in the last seconds of each match. I hope you guys find it interesting. I'm sorry for my English, of course I'm not a native speaker, but I think that it could be so cool to share these teachy videos with the English community. I hope you like it, don't forget to subscribe and see you in the next one.